We got what? We got him, Mike. Pat, we got him waiting in the lobby, Mike. Thank you, Patrick, for the call. By the way.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
For Christ's sake, that's the last thing I want is Quinn thinking we're holding out on him. We need his wisdom and his career advice. Come on in there, will you, Colin? Hi, Roland. How are you?
Hi, Carl.
Right here.
Ooh.
What do you got there?
Oh, I like this blue marble. It's lovely.
Blue. We need his wisdom and his career advice. Come on in there, will you, Colin? Hi, Roland. How are you?
Hi, Carl.
Right here.
Ooh.
What do you got there?
Oh, I like this blue marble. It's lovely.
Blue marble. Yeah, fucking.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Right here.
Please. It's fucking Home Depot vinyl.
Yeah, you're right.
How are you? I know you were in Europe. You get any shots over there?
What do you mean?
I don't even bring anything in the studio.
I was in Italy. You gonna blame your people?
In Ireland.
And Ireland.
Isn't that fucking Europe too?
I know. I was just trying to trash your people by saying I was in Italy.
Oh, well, we'll get to my people. That's right where I was going. The first, we only got one call in it. It said, you taking advice from Colin Quinn? He passed on this movie and that movie?
Who said that? Put him on.
Patrick in New York.
Figures. Put that Irish bastard on.
No, he can't. He's calling from, Rosie's.
Patrick. Just the fact he doesn't call himself Pat is already suspicious.
Yeah, a lot of guys are doing that now. I'm Michael. No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're Mike.
You're Mike. I'm
and
Mickey.
Patrick, you're Patty.
And anyhow,
they're trying to get very formal.
I have to thank, Jesus Hinosa Jr. has contributed to my podcast. Thank you so much, Jesus.
You're doing great on the Mets this year, by the way. Jesus.
Yes, he's a long relief. Yeah, thank you. If you want to sign up for the podcast, connectpal.com/Nick, connectpal.com/Nick, and you get 5 shows a week for $3.99 a month, and you can't beat it with a stick, as they say. Can we play that Procter and Gamble ad that I... Listen to this, folks.
Called The Talk.
Yeah, it's called The Talk. It's about 2 minutes long, and we're going to play the whole 2 minutes because it's that irritating to me.
Who said that?
The lady at the store.
It's a black woman talking to a little black girl.
That is not a compliment.
Listen, it's an ugly, nasty word, and you are going to hear it. Nothing I can do about that.
Mets.
But you are not going to let that word hurt you. You hear me? There are some people who think you don't deserve the same privileges just because of what you look like. It's not fair. It's not.
Remember, you can do anything they can. Difference is you gotta work twice as hard and be twice as smart.
Come straight from my practice. You got your ID? Oh, guess I stopped you. How's your review?
We're good.
You good?
Yeah,
You see?
we're good.
Okay, good. Now, when you get pulled over,
I'm a good driver. Okay?
baby,
Don't worry.
this is not about you getting a ticket. This is about you not coming home.
I'm gonna be okay,
What home?
right? Okay.
It's not fair. But you keep showing up.
You are not pretty for a black girl. You are beautiful, period. Okay? Don't ever forget that.
It's a commercial? P&G, my black is beautiful. It's time for everyone. Hashtag talk about a buy. Yeah, we haven't talked about it enough in this country.
No.
I don't think
No, it was very brave, that commercial.
Yeah, it took a lot of, didn't it?
Procter & Gamble. It's for lotion. Yeah. I mean, ridiculous. It's like that commercial from 1953.
That's what did I say to you?
Yeah, it was one every decade. Like from the 50s it started. And
I know, but when it got to even 2017,
exactly what you said.
it might as well be 1955.
Jesus, yeah.
And the sad music behind it. And when's the last time some white person said to a little cute black girl, "You're pretty for a black"?
Yeah. And when's the last time someone used the N-word? A white person. Even white rappers won't use it. Eminem never used it.
Procter and Gamble. Don't buy any of this shit, folks. I don't even know if I have any of it. I'm gonna go home and. What do they make, Quinn?
Febreze.
Febreze.
Yeah, Febreze, that shit.
I gotta throw that out. What's Febreze? Makes your sheets smell good.
Yeah.
Fabrizio.
Am I wrong? Did they get
crazy.
under my skin?
It's nuts.
Pull up some of the comments that I can. I just. How long are you gonna play this? Horse. It's like a con game now. I like this guy says. These are comments after the clip. Remember, Black Child, you're a permanent victim. Use that excuse to behave as poorly as you wish and reference bullshit commercials like this to demand special treatment you've not earned. Signed, Liberal America. P.S. Vote Democrat or else. I think that says it all.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And then Colin says...
P&G.
It says, I like this one, when your parents fill your head with white hate to make themselves feel better. Yeah, this is how I see it, too. Hate to agree with some of these so-called racists, but...
Well, at least it won't set up a contentious relationship for people.
Exactly.
But I like the white kids chasing them home from school.
The very racist ad.
I want to know what town that was.
As non-racist white, I feel deeply offended by the stupid publicity, and I am avoiding P&G from now on. And I suggest you people do too.
You can't avoid P&G.
I know.
That's a super corporation,
big, right?
Yeah, they're like one of those corporations like back in the old days when it was like Ford Motor Company, P&G. There was like 6 companies in the whole country.
Yeah, and then you jump over to Chevrolet. You jump over to Lincoln.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. It's just, you got to stop with this shit. And by the way...
Why are you wasting your breath? You know it's not going to stop.
Huh?
It's not going to stop until there's
fucking radio. I have to talk about something, Quinn. I thought you'd appreciate it.
Until there's a civil war, nothing's going to stop.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to expedite the process. That's what this show's here for. I'm tired of it. Sad piano behind the soap commercial. Give me a fucking break. Goodness gracious, Heloise. Yeah, it was each generation they were, but that
was different.
It was different generations, but you really couldn't tell the difference, could you?
No,
because that song has been the same throughout those decades.
Yeah,
and will continue to be, like you said.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, for the love of Pete, do you want reconciliation? Do you want retribution? And it was directed by somebody named Malik. That was a shock, and I think Ray Lewis wrote the sheet music.
Well, what is Procter and Gamble? You know, there had to be a board full of white guys going, "Oh, that's fantastic." We're really. And
I don't think so. I think there's probably.
Who do you think is in charge of Procter and Gamble?
What?
Who do you think
is Gamble? By the way, relax.
Who do you think it is? Boogie Down Productions. Who do you think?
You're assuming that because it's a big corporation, it's all white guys sitting on it. I disagree.
Well,
Coca-Cola is like 70% black, upper level.
It is.
Well, I might have thrown that figure a little. Yeah, but it's very black.
Yeah.
The CEOs, you know how it is.
Well,
you
Atlanta.
Just said it. Huh?
It's Atlanta.
It is Atlanta. But I'm just saying.
Where's Procter and Gamble at?
What?
Anyway, it's on the internet. Nobody watches that.
I can't. How about my producer? He throws this at me about a minute before showtime. This guy saw it this afternoon at like 1 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, no, we wouldn't be interested in talking about that on the show. Meanwhile, I got you coming in. We're going to talk about fucking Cork County. How was it? First of all, we'll get to that in a few minutes. Let's take a call, shall we? Let's go to Rich in Georgia. Rich, say hi to Colin, Quinn, and me, will you?
Hey, Colin, how you doing?
Hi, Rich.
Hey, I was going to say, well, you said it was directed by a guy named Malik, but I guarantee it was these young little hipster white kids that probably spearheaded this advertisement for them to pat each other on the back saying, look how we're not racist. I get so sick of that crap.
I don't like the use of spearhead in there.
Well,
no need of that, Rich.
I just hate these.
That's inflammatory.
I just hate these I'm sorry. I just hate these liberal whites that think that they need to defend black people
Right.
because they can't defend themselves. I think maybe they need to watch that World Hip Hop or whatever.
Yeah,
that
they're very
is on
patronizing.
YouTube. Yeah, they can't defend themselves very good.
Yeah, they're very patronizing, those kids. I know what you're saying.
The young hipsters,
Yeah,
the Brooklyn ones.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it needs to be beat out of them. I'm glad they were picked on earlier in life, but apparently didn't get the job done. Jesse in Arizona, welcome to the show, Jesse.
What's going on, fellas?
What's your thoughts on this Procter & Gamble ad that really got my blood curdling? And that's not saying much.
I moved out to Arizona 2 years ago, but I had to have this conversation with my daughters when we lived in North Carolina. I said, "Listen, honey, you're a beautiful white girl. You're not, you're beautiful no matter what your color is." And I said, "You can do anything in the world that you want to, except for claim racism from black people, because it doesn't work that way, honey. It just doesn't work that way. So now I think Johnson & Johnson should make a commercial for white people."
Johnson & Johnson, just the name doesn't...
Yeah, that sounds black.
That sounds too black.
Yeah, good call.
That reminds me of the Johnson brothers. Brothers Johnson.
You make a good point, Jesse.
Hello, my love.
Ooh, you hear that?
That was nice.
Yes,
Thank you.
Colin's very
Thanks, Jesse.
Motownish. Yeah, thank you for the call, Jesse. And I think you're right. Many people have had that. You got a little white girl, you know, in this day and age, you don't say, hope you get home safe. Seriously. You say that to any kid. We're living in turbulent times is what I'm saying. But to make it...
I know, everything's got to be racial.
It's black and white.
Yeah.
It's the black and white thing. It's
Yes, it is.
We're not moving forward here, and it's making me nuts. Nick in Long Island, say hi to Colin Quinn.
Hey, Colin.
What's up, Nick?
Let me just switch gears a little bit. I love both of you guys. You two are my favorite comedians of all time. But last night I was in Lower Manhattan in Little Italy eating, so I figured I'd walk over to see Nick's show at the Fat Black Pussycat. And, of course, I couldn't get in because it was sold out. But, lo and behold, Colin Quinn is hanging out outside.
That's right.
And he's telling me what a creep and miserable creep you are, Nick. He did a set before you. He's in the green room. You come in, and you greet him by saying, "What the fuck are you still doing here?"
No,
Saying,
I did
"Hi,
not say
Colin."
that.
Hi, Colin.
Nick, that's not the way... Let me tell what happened.
Yes, that doesn't sound very...
That does sound like him, but that's not what happened. What happened was, Nick, let me tell you what I told you. I said, this is why you have to love DiPaolo. He gives you... He is who he is. I see him walk by, and I was like, I felt rude. I didn't even say hello. I was talking to these people, taking a picture. I'll go up to the green room. He's probably getting ready to go on. It's kind of an anxious place. It's an intimate space. I go up to the green room. 20 seconds later, he looks at me and three other people and goes, "When did this become the fucking green room? That was a good idea." And I just turned around and walked out. I said, "That's Nick. You know what I mean?"
But that wasn't directed at you guys.
It wasn't directed at me.
It was directed
necessarily.
at the audience.
It was directed at all of us.
Well, no, what I meant was the green room is where the audience sits, is what I was getting at, and I thought everybody's going to agreement with me. But
He's
apparently,
up there with Andy and Tony Burton, and I'm still mad at Tony Burton, to be honest with you.
All right, Nick, thanks for...
Love him. Just got to love him. Wait, Rick, Nick.
No, you already fucking lied about me once. You want another story?
Sorry, I exaggerated.
Get that fucking thing right the first time.
I just really enjoy your show, and I'm so glad you got people like Colin on, and a couple weeks ago when you had Ron Bennington on. And,
yes.
And that crew is just so cool. Kelly, Florentine, Norton, Louis, Voss, Anthony from Opie.
Yeah, those are hard gets in radio.
I know they are, and it just brings back such good memories of this channel that it used to be. Now it's kind of you're the only show. You and Norton are the only show I listen to, unfortunately. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
All right, Nick.
All right, Nick.
All right,
Appreciate it.
See you.
Bye.
Anytime you feel like bastardizing the truth again, call in. Son of a bitch.
Colin?
Let's take a break. We got the legend here, Colin Quinn. And like I said, he just got back from Ireland, and he was in Italy. And he's got a summer home in Tunisia. We're going to talk about that. And 866-969-1969. And I'd like to talk about the commercial that Procter & Gamble put out. It's obviously anti-white, and it's stuck in the 1950s. And I don't give a shit if it was Malik or Kevin who directed it. It's a piece of garbage. Back after this.
You're listening to the Nick DiPaolo Show on Faction Talk, Sirius XM 103.
When you're offended by language, that means you're success. A lot of other countries, it still comes down to people coming in. I can't take the intolerance anymore. They tell us, what happened? The other religion came and burned down my village. I know what you mean. I heard some inflammatory rhetoric recently. And they're like, but what does it mean, inflammatory rhetoric? That means like flames, like what they literally did to your village. That's what they figuratively did to my sense of it was oppressive speech, if you know what I'm trying to say by that. It was kind of supremacist, oppressive by its very nature. It's hard to explain. Words hurt. Words are loaded. Words are triggers in our society. You know, the Second Amendment and the First Amendment overlapping at all times. And, of course, you know, we can blame the press. First of all, the press is not even the press anymore. The press is now all over. Anybody has any kind of a computer or a phone, you're actually the press. How do you think the journalists feel at this point? You can win 6 Pulitzers, cover 8 wars, but some blogger gets more hits on you that week, and they're it, and you're out. That's it. And the press was locked out of the convention, by the way. They were locked out. The Founding Fathers, freedom of the press, starting in a couple of months when we're done. They shut the windows and locked them out of the whole thing, you know? Because the press, and now the press, obviously there's 2 sides, and that's it. You have to see the country one way or the other. There's no middle ground. There's nobody in the middle. You have to see this country as either it's in danger of becoming a right-wing, Islamophobic, homophobic, xenophobic, nothing to fear but phobia itself taking over, or it's a left-wing socialist, terrorist, anarchist about to take over. There's nobody in the middle. I mean, there's people in the middle like myself, but nobody, there's no party if you're like me, pro-gun, pro-choice, pro-death penalty, pro-gay marriage, all those things, what do they add up to? Anti-overcrowding. Thank you, bud.
Was that from Unconstitutional?
Yeah. That was some clear audio, by the way, Andy.
Was it bad?
No, it was great. I've never sounded that clear in my life.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah.
By the way, New York Story and Unconstitutional is streaming on Netflix right now, and follow him on Twitter.
And long story short, it'll be on there soon, since apparently HBO got hacked.
Yes, we'll get into that in a few minutes.
Long story short, yeah. It was on there.
It was on HBO. Yeah. So that's people will be getting that.
They'll finally start watching it again.
Hit him up on Twitter at I am Colin Quinn, and visit colinquinn.com. He's selling, what do you got, shot glasses and ashtrays?
Yes.
colinquinn.com for his tour dates. I don't remember you having a website, or did you?
I do have a website, but it's a very recent acquisition.
It is, right?
Yeah, only a few months.
I figured it.
I sell T-shirts that make no sense, but they're very comfortable. But if you read them, you'll be like, "What does this T-shirt mean?" Nobody understands. I've sold like 6.
I can't even picture you selling anything.
Yeah,
You're such a. I mean, Quinn is the real deal. He is an artiste, not in it for the money.
I'd like a nice beach house, though. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Nice, peaceful beach house.
Absolutely.
Like you ever see Manhunter? Remember at the beginning when he's on the beach?
No, I don't.
Oh, Dream much, Will. It's the greatest movie ever. It's the original Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, with what's his name? The blonde head.
William Peterson, yeah.
What's his name?
William Peterson,
yeah. No, that's not who I was thinking of at all. Didn't they do the one with Tony Randall? Let's go. We want to take one more comment, 2 more comments on the Procter & Gamble ad that plays like it's 1955, and I'm just tired of it. There's a straight white male who's proud of it. Mark in Missouri, your thoughts about the commercial?
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Wow. I wasn't expecting this. I would like to say, Mr. Colin Quinn, I quit watching Saturday Night Live when you left. And then back to the topic. It's so irritating to me that both the coasts are so this bullshit racist stuff. if you come here and I kiss your ass, I'm white, so I can go to any neighborhood, anywhere in this area, and get along with everybody. Because that shit was never taught to me. It was never taught, you're white, so you're a bad guy. It was never taught that, and it wasn't taught to the other folks either. They see me as a person that, here we are, let's get this job done, or what have you,
Yeah.
There's no animosity. There's nothing, and it just irritates me that coming from both the coasts, they're trying to, I don't know, make the younger generations think that, oh, wait, your daddy worked for a white man. That white man is racist. That is why I lean more conservative, but I do not, I can't call myself a conservative. I think a woman needs to be able to have her choices.
Right.
I think you should be allowed to fuck whatever you want to fuck, and ain't none of my damn business. But
you're a libertarian.
Trying to gear everybody towards whitey's bad. I ain't standing with that. But I can go into any urban area, walk into any store, and be just fine. Buy what I want, walk right back.
Yeah, but you're probably like 6'4", 240.
What's that?
How big are you?
No, I'm like 5'11", 200 pounds. Only thing I got going for me is I wreck buildings.
You wreck
He's
buildings.
a beast, yeah. He's one of those 5'11", 200 pound, he's like Don Nottingham.
Thanks for the call, Mark. But he makes a good point. They're just exacerbating the racial
that's
tensions.
That's the point. Yeah, you're telling people that this is the way the world is right now.
And there's a generation that has soaked this shit in and believes it.
It's brainwashed.
If you don't believe me, listen.
Blanket, fry like bacon, pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon, pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon, pigs in a blanket, fry like.
Yeah.
That was the Pistons at halftime, sitting on their bench. For love of Christ, did he say that? It really is just...
It's crazy. It's such propaganda and such brainwashing.
It's propaganda.
It's terrible.
And don't tell me...
Awful.
Yes. And it's a con game. It's how it's worked for years, I guess, right?
Yeah,
it's paid off. So why would they abandon it, I guess, their trump card? No pun intended, but I'm just saying. Seriously.
But it's Procter & Gamble. This is a corporation doing this, so I don't understand why they're doing this.
And like he said, it plays well in New York and L.A. and probably and wherever else, San Francisco.
Sure.
But how about there's zillions of people in the middle of the country, the flyover states that use Procter & Gamble.
Yeah, I don't understand.
They have to be laughing at this like I am. And you don't have to be from Ohio to find this silly.
Right.
I grew up in friggin' Boston, and I've lived in Boston, New York, and L.A.
Right. The holy trinity of political correctness.
It really is aggravating.
3 of the 4.
Let's take one more on this. Actually, you can take a couple more because now the phone's out. Fontaine in Virginia, our friend Fontaine. What's going on, man? Black guy, by the way,
buddy.
Colin.
Hey, Colin.
You didn't have to tell me that when his name was Fontaine. Hey, Fontaine.
Hey, Nick, I got a comedy question for you if you'll entertain that. But if you want,
the answer is puppets. Ask me and Colin.
A black guy's opinion of that. I'm 49 years old this year.
Yeah.
Blue collar guy, homeowner, married, and
you sure you're black?
That shit really, it's kind of offensive to see a commercial like that because we don't really need it force-fed. But even worse than that is the white guilt. Dude, I was in the grocery store recently, and
yes.
A young white girl was blocking the lane. So I went down through there, and she goes, I'm sorry. She said, I'm sorry, like 5 times. I was like, chick, you don't need to say I'm sorry. Just move your fucking cart.
What was the last call? What did he say? Your fucking what?
Just move your fucking cart.
No, you're right. I see it all the time. Hey, here's Fontaine. Ever see this one? This is one you got to watch out for. And I've seen this, and I'm pointing this out now. You'll all be jumping on it. When there's a foul ball, at least at Fenway, and an adult gets it. I've seen this play out 6 times in the last 3 seasons. They look around for a little black kid to hand it to.
At Fenway?
At Fenway. Yes, there's black people at Fenway. Colin, just because they were the last team to integrate. It's actually a good point.
You know what? A lot of black people get it wrong, man. You know, I don't want to be given anything by anybody. I want to work for it, and there's a certain satisfaction to that.
Of course.
But I don't think they get it because the same person, if they give it to you, can't they just take it away?
Of course. Now, let me ask you, Fontaine, do you have friends that would watch that commercial? Would they have the same point of view that you have on it, or would they go, yeah, that's how it is? We still got to work three times harder.
No, birds of a feather, you know that how that goes. But I can tell you this, man, I wasn't always this way. I was raised in zip code 10035.
Where's that,
and I
Quinn?
think you know where that is.
I don't.
But there's a lot to be said for it's way uptown Manhattan, north of 110th Street.
Oh.
But there's something to be said for assimilating to society. I mean, I hate to sound like a fucking Uncle Tom, but life is pretty good for me.
Yeah, you don't sound like the people. You know, the Democrat Party will call you an Uncle Tom for having that point of view. You gotta march lockstep with those fuckers, or you're Uncle Tom.
Meanwhile, if you went back to your old zip code, it's all white.
It's true, isn't it?
I'm too dark for the white people and too white for the black people. I wish I had $1 every time I heard that fucking shit.
Patrice said that about me one time on Tough Crowd.
Patrice said that about you?
Yeah. That's so strange. He goes, white people don't want you and black people don't want you.
Oh, my God. He was mean, that
Can
guy.
I ask you? Hey, can I ask you a comedy question?
Yeah.
Sure.
I used to host some shows way back in the day down in Daytona Beach, and there was a guy from Nick's Comedy Stop that used to come down. He was a headliner named Teddy Bergeron.
Yeah.
Is he still around anymore?
What is the latest on Teddy comedy?
Well, it's funny you say that because I actually do have the latest on Teddy, which is he lives in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's
and he pals around with one Mike Reynolds.
Oh, Jesus.
Who was a friend of mine from years ago.
That means he's
Teddy,
dead.
Teddy is doing. He does an occasional set, but as you probably noticed, then he has some issues that.
Yeah, he did.
To put it mildly, even in Daytona Beach, people were like, "Listen, we're Daytona Beach. We tolerate a lot, but you do too much."
Hey, Fontaine, thanks,
I love
man.
you guys.
Great call.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. See ya.
I'm not just saying that because you're black. Great call, Fontaine. I'll tell you, you really brought your A game. Oh, my God. Now I find that funny, a black guy named Fontaine calling from Virginia asking about Teddy Bergeron.
Yes, I love it.
That is unbelievable.
And I'm actually one of the few people that
would
has
know
information on him.
exactly.
I mean, I'm not even from Boston, but because of Reynolds. He sends me pictures of Teddy standing there.
What, in a
with
hospital
dazed
room?
Look on, no, just a dazed look on his face. No, in the middle of like the Vegas place. Like, you ever see like remember in Casino when they set up like the Gutter Gulch, like the place where Pesci and his sleazy crew work out of.
Yeah.
All the streets, all the backgrounds look like that. Whenever Reynolds sends me a picture. It's always like the part of Vegas where it's like, oh, I don't want to go there.
When you said if Reynolds sends you a picture, him and I honestly got it. The mental picture I got was Bergeron in a hospital bed and Reynolds rubbing ice on his lips, just trying to keep him moist.
Yeah, it's basically John Voight trying to put a blanket over Dustin Hoffman.
Isn't that funny? The Fontaine black guy from Virginia asking about Teddy Bergeron, and one of the things Teddy was known for at Nick's when I first started, he comes in one night. I'll never forget this. He goes on after Steve Sweeney, who's the king of Nick's. This is in the heyday. Sweeney almost gets like a standing ovation.
Sure.
Teddy Bergeron goes on after him and is doing like a little dumb accent. Like he was acting like he was new on stage, and the crowd started booing him and shit and stuff. And they started,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he puts a boombox on the table. Goes behind the curtain, comes back. He's dressed like Michael Jackson. This is a pasty white Irish guy, blonde eyelashes,
the
in
whitest,
his 50s at the time, right?
Whitest, pastiest, out of shape Irish guy, red hair.
Puts on Beat It and dances better than Michael Jackson. You wouldn't, the fucking room, 350 people like this. He's lip syncing the whole thing, moonwalking, doing every move from the video. I've never seen an audience go from "fuck you, get off" and shit, and he got like partial standing ovation. I remember half the room standing. He was a little creepy in his funniness. He was kind of brilliant.
Well, they said he was a brilliant guy, but then was it you or somebody told me that the day after you did the Tonight Show, back when that was like made his whole career, he did a Tonight
with
Show
Carson
and killed. And it was like this amazing set. And they said the next night they stepped over him on their way into Nick's.
Yeah, me and Kenny Rogerson stepped out. That wasn't. It was a few years down the road. Didn't his dad get killed right after he did his Tonight Show?
Oh,
his
really?
dad died of something. That's what said. But yes, me and Kenny Rogerson were walking into Nick's one night to work on a Friday night. There's a line around the block. The doorman trying to pick this guy up, laying in his own. It was Teddy.
Oh my God!
And of course, Kenny Rogerson, being the comedian that he is, as he's stepping over me, he goes, "Didn't I see you on the Tonight Show?" And then he goes, I wonder what he did with that money. That's what Kenny was in one breath. That's Boston comedy right there.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
So many funny guys. Well, you know.
At least at Nick's.
Yeah, I told you about that Nick's thing with me and Steve Sweeney killing. Oh, my God.
What happened?
I told you that story. I mean, I'm sure you've heard it over the years, but where Sweeney, it was my first time in Boston. I go on the first show Friday night. I'm like, it's not that bad, Nick. Everybody says it's so bad.
Yeah.
Second show, I go up. I didn't know they would give me the big setup. Because the MC is the headliner.
Right.
So Sweeney goes up. Chance Langston comes up to me and he goes, Colin, I have a 45-minute drive home. My wife is very upset. Can I, you don't care if I go on first, do you? Like, they weren't asking. They were just saying, so I go, all right. Him and Sweeney go on. He's got a guitar. I didn't know. He's up there killing.
Chance?
Chance.
Yeah.
Sweeney comes out. The crowd's going nuts. Now Sweeney comes out with a mop on his head and starts singing "Come Back to Jamaica Plain." They do this whole improv singing, the two of them dancing and singing, and the crowd's going, bah! And it's like the Late Show Friday anyway. And then he goes, and then Chance walks off standing on, Steve goes, "Ladies and gentlemen from New York, Colin Quinn." I go on stage literally in 5 minutes. And remember something, I don't understand. Like, I never saw guys like this because I'm from New York. So,
right.
So I'm seeing a bunch of guys in like Izod shirts and white pants and like deck shoes. With red hair and blonde eyebrows, and so I'm thinking, oh, these guys are like waspy guys. They're pussy, you know what I mean?
They're not.
I figured they're like from Kennedy, where the Kennedys are from. There's like 50 of them yelling. But I go, look at these guys. I should have noticed they had like tattoos and a little bigger than the average, But I'm just thinking, oh, these waspy idiots, spoiled kids, you know what I mean? And they're going, but that's how they dress up there. They dress like the pop collar. This is like 1985, 86.
He's talking about young Irish kids.
Yeah, they're all from Southie.
From like Southie.
Yeah.
And they wear the Izod shit almost ironically.
Yes.
Like hipsters today wear fucking...
Yeah, they're wearing like pink shirts and, I'm like, look at these assholes. I'm cursing them out and they go, fuck you. I go, fuck you. Fuck me. We're going to beat the piss out of you. I was like, boy, they're pretty... Next thing you know, just the whole thing turned on me. And I'm just like, holy shit. It's like 50 minutes, the whole crowd's like, they're not leaving. It's not like they're just booing to get off. They're like, we're coming on. You know what I mean? They didn't want me to leave. They're just like, come down here. And I'm going, holy shit. And then Joe Yannetti came on, because he was with me. And he walks on in the camel hair coat, of this long coat. He walks on and he goes, folks, his opening line, I'll never forget. He goes, folks, I'm from East E. Just to establish.
All Italians.
Now, this is a friend of mine. You're being very rude. We're leaving. Now, we're going to the kitchen. And the bouncer said, take me in the kitchen and leave me there till the whole crowd emptied out. And then Jonathan Katz told me that the first time he did a Tonight Show, he got cocky. He went on. They booed him again. They wanted to beat the shit out of him. He hid in the sound booth behind the stage. And then the owner came out and goes, Jonathan left. They go, bullshit, he's in that booth. He goes, no, there's a door there. There's a secret door he left on the back.
Dr. Katz has left the building.
He had to lie to them.
That's the kind of place Nick's what? It was the A room in Boston.
Yeah, it was yeah.
And it was, and you'd see the best killer shows, but that had that element. And Louis hit it on the head. I remember Louis saying, it's not that when they don't like you, it's not that they just don't find you funny. They get mean about they okay, I understand. You don't think I'm funny, but why would that make you angry?
Yeah,
why do you want to beat the fuck out of me?
Right, they would be very angry.
And Boston's a confrontational. It still is. It still is.
Yeah.
I remember Tell coming back from the Comedy Connection. This had to be 10 years ago, and going, "What the fuck? I saw like 8 brawls." He goes, "It's like 1970 there." Anyways,
so funny.
We're gonna take a break. We're gonna keep Quinn around. You can stick around, can you? Yeah. Please. Look, you wouldn't even say yes. He's like, okay.
What do you mean? I could stay till 7:30.
Beautiful.
I have a show.
Do you?
Yeah, I have a show at the.
You still doing stand-up?
No, at the Friars Club.
Oh, that's right. Who's getting roasted?
It's not a roast.
No, it's not
stand-up. Yeah.
Oh, it's just
Yeah.
Jackie Mason's daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you doing that?
No, I couldn't.
Oh, that's so funny.
I got to run out of here. Anyways. All right, so we come back, 866-969-1969, and we will talk. I want to talk about Quinn's trip to Ireland and to my homeland of Italy, where he's had some really mean things to say. Back up to this.
Yeah, it still resonates in everybody in the United States, black and white. Black people still don't trust the system. White people still have white guilt from that day. Black people still don't trust the system. I go to the train station, a black guy. Yeah, it still resonates in everybody in the United States, black and white. Black people still don't trust the system. White people still have white guilt from that day. Black people still don't trust the system. I go to the train station, a black guy. Is the train coming? Supposed to, you know. We'll see what happens. What do you think the whole black community and the police, all that tension goes because the police are the system, the nation of laws. They're the ones that go in. Black people are what? First of all, who thought that plan wouldn't work? Get the black community festering, raising in the sun, looking at the dream deferred, fuming for hundreds of years over the system, but they can't really see, and it's not tangible, but they know they don't like the system. And then we're saying to a 23-year-old white kid, listen, we're going to give you a gun and a souped-up car. Go in there and start telling them what to do, all right? So, like, are they going to get pissed? No, I don't think so. Just kind of tell them you represent the system, and just say, can I see your hands? Who lives around here? Open that car. Shit like that. See what happens. You know. But everybody always says we need...
Unbelievable. Woo! That's the great Colin Quinn. That's from New York Story, no?
No, I think that's from Unconstitutional.
Is it too?
Yeah.
Holy moly. Those are both streaming still on Netflix?
You sound like you don't believe me, but yeah, they are.
No, I believe you. I didn't. Did you write these down?
They're going to be
on... did.
They're streaming, they're being hacked right now as we speak by whoever did HBO.
Follow him on Twitter at I am Colin Quinn and visit colinquinn.com for his tour dates.
Yeah, you can buy a lovely T-shirt. But they're very comfortable T-shirts. They're good for sleeping in.
He's got a shirt that says, I'm with Mama Luke. With a picture of me. Hey, so, all right, you just got back from, let's talk about your homeland first, Ireland.
Right.
Was it a festival over there?
Right. Yeah, it was an Irish comedy festival, Dublin Comedy Festival.
So I guess Eddie Brill put it together.
They,
no?
Yeah, and it was, it was so funny because, it's like everybody there, I'm looking at I'm seeing all my relatives because I was never there. So I'm looking at all everybody there. I'm like, that looks like my cousin. That person's posture is like my, you know what I mean? It's this Irish posture.
Yes.
But I mean, it's I felt like so, connected immediately, even though they hate Irish Americans. And I talked about that the whole time, of course, on stage. They don't hate us, but we annoy them. You know what I mean?
Why is that so? This place, Rosie O'Grady's, I go in for a drink. They have this heavy Irish accent, the bartenders are from and I go, what are your favorite beers? And he goes, Guinness and Budweiser.
Yeah.
They sell Bud by the ton in Ireland. That's so that's like going to Italy and going, ragu out of a jar. That's how I took Budweiser. That cat piss. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but Guinness, everybody drinks Guinness over there.
That I kind of understand, but
yeah,
it's too smooth for me. That kind of... So why would they hate Irish Americans?
Well, they hate Irish. They call us plastic patties, like fake Irish guys, And
plastic patties.
They call them plastic patties, and they feel like. Well, first of all, they don't like the fact that we come over and go, "Hey, any Quinns around here?" Like everybody wants to, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then they said, and they hate the fact that we're always like say, "I'm Irish." So one of my things I was telling them, I go, "I know you guys don't like we say we're Irish because we're American," and I go, I never say I'm Irish. I say I'm Irish American. I go, I'm lying. I say I'm Irish my whole life. Nothing you can do about it. I've been saying this since I was 3. What are you going to come over and fucking police me? But what I heard they do, which I don't know if it's true, because Irish is tourists anywhere. But we're like, hey, American, Irish, and they said that everybody goes to kiss the Blarney Stone, and I heard the locals piss on it.
Oh my God!
I wouldn't be surprised.
We're talking about the kids with the pop-up collars at Nick's. Right, it sounds like this type of. They're pissing on the blood, and then people put their lips. Oh, come on!
I don't know if that's true. Maybe they got it washed off. They probably have to wash it off, or it would eventually disintegrate.
Yes, all the acidity.
Yes, especially from those people. It's not like they have a great diet.
Cabbage and Budweiser. Yeah. They should be shitting on it. Unbelievable. How 866-969-1969. We're talking to the great Colin Quinn, who just did comedy in Ireland, and I've done comedy overseas a handful of times, and my shit really doesn't fly. I got to be honest with you. Yeah, I feel like I have too many Americana references in my act or something. I don't know, but you're like Shakespeare with your one man shows. You study human behavior and you're like a sociologist and a.
But you also do get a lot of you get a lot of like chemist instead of drugstore, news agent instead of bodega. Like there's things you say wrong. You're gonna say the wrong word. Like a lot of stuff. The Irish guys say, I didn't get, but the whole crowd's crying. And a lot of stuff we say, they're like, you think that's my big joke. It's not getting laughed. But even there's a couple of political correct, like really? I got one tweet, like, Colin Quinn, how could you allow his homophobic, because they do a whole thing about the Catholic Church. How could you talk about the Catholic Church without mentioning the gay influence? You know what I mean? It's not even homophobic. It's just a big, And so anyway, of course, people are always...
somebody tweeted that?
Yeah, there's always somebody on point somewhere making sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most people loved it. I mean, I did great there. I really...
Did you?
Yes, I loved it.
Did you really?
I would have done it in Italy. If I could have done comedy in Italy, I would have loved it.
I didn't go over well there either.
Wouldn't that be great to do comedy in Italy?
I don't know. Would it?
I don't know. I mean, people do it in France in English.
I know, but you don't know who's in the audience. Even at Nick's in the 80s, I told you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Big Italian guy and his wife, she's yelling shit out. I started zinging her. It was actually at Kowloon's. Nick's at Kowloon's above a Chinese restaurant. It's an Italian guy. He had like an 18-inch neck. I'm zinging his wife. He goes like this. He had a sports coat on. He opens it. His fucking butt of the guts. I'm like,
Yeah, she's a good lady, though.
I'm just busted. Look at her. She's beautiful.
Well, yeah, they used to have the, remember in the 80s, they had like the cop was, the security cop, they had a cop at the door, an armed cop at Nick's.
Yeah.
This is the difference. They have an armed cop at Nick's for security because kids are so rowdy.
Yeah.
And if you wanted Coke, you had to go see him.
It was
wild.
What a wild place, man. And Dominic ran it, and who knows what he was into.
Right.
Don Gavin would come in with a picture of Black Russians on one hand and a newspaper. He'd go right into the office and bet college basketball. He'd be in there, and the MC would bring him up. He'd be in there, run out.
Yeah.
Guy couldn't have been happier. The guy's already been doing it for 30-something years. He's got his newspaper. He fills out his...
Well, Don Gavin was that guy, like his first hour apparently was like just almost off the top of his head. Like the first time he did comedy, Lenny Clark wanted to fight him. Because he goes, where have you worked before?
It was an open mic.
He goes, no, I never worked before. He goes, where'd you work before? He goes, no, I never worked. And Lenny was going to fight him.
Yeah.
He's like, you're lying.
It was an open mic. You think alcohol might have been involved in that conversation?
You're lying, fucking bastard.
This is circa 1978 at the Ding Ho. You think they might have got it? And if you guys want to, the stories Colin bringing up, we're talking Boston. There's that when Stand Up Stood Out, that documentary.
Fran Salamina's movie.
Yeah, if you want to, and you don't have to be from Boston to appreciate it. If you're a stand-up fan, please get that. When Stand Up Stood Out, you will be so. I remember Fran calling me to be I'm like, I'm not going to go to L.A. This is not going to see the light of day.
Right.
And then when I watched, I almost started crying. I was so upset.
Yeah, of course you should.
I you know what? But I'm like, I didn't belong in that anyways. I mean,
he had all those crazy.
He's talking to Sweeney, and these are the guys you want to hear from. Kenny Rogers.
Oh, they were nuts.
Kenny's sitting there going, well, they were interviewing him. He's in like a shitty comedy club. He's like, I'm here tonight, but because I was doing blow every night instead of working on my act. And the guy was...
It reminded me, they were like hockey players from the 70s. They were these like guys with these giant mustaches, and they were just wild, maniac, chain smoking, drinking coke. Just all their money went, and they just went on there and just went crazy.
They lived in a house together.
Yeah.
Kevin Meaney and Kremen, they had a house like off of Com Ave, like a fraternity for comics. And didn't you get dragged over there?
No. When I went up there the first time I went there, it was 86, and I said, thank God I don't live here, because I would have died. Thank God I was in New York comedy.
Yeah, you would have.
All the Jews that don't drink. You know what I mean? They were like, hey, we're here to do comedy. We're here to do this. And it wasn't like a culture like, let's get... In Boston, I was like, I'll die. I'd die up here. I'd never last.
And people did.
Yeah,
they would kick me out of the green room at Nick's because I wasn't doing blow at that point. They'd go, hey, they get in, get out. And then Panette would waddle in there with Kenny and Sweeney, and the door would slam.
Yeah.
And then I did it once. Panette, after a couple years, wore me down. After like a year and a half, I did a line before I went on. I'm on stage, and I'm up there, and my hand was in my pocket. Some guy yells out right in between, "Hey, relax up there." I looked down. I had my hand. I was jiggling my car keys in my pocket. Like a mile a minute. He goes, "Hey, relax up there." Everybody started laughing. I looked down at my hand, and then my lip kept getting stuck on my teeth and shit. And I come off. He's like, because my timing was all fucked up. He thought it was so. How did he not die that night?
Well, I got thrown off when the story opened with Panette finally wore me down. I was like, "Oh, where's this going?"
Let's go to excuse me. Randy in California has a comment about the Blarney Stone. Actually, Randy, say hi to Colin.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Colin. Great show. I'm surprised you actually took my call because I figured you'd assume I'm some liberal asshole.
Well, I did, but you seem like a nice guy.
But I lived in Scotland, Edinburgh specifically, for my undergrad, and we used to go over to Ireland all the time. And I heard the same rumor about pissing on the Blarney Stone, but they locked that place down tighter than Fort Knox at night, just because they have the poison garden there where it has a bunch of hallucinogenic plants and illegal shit like that.
Wow.
That it's growing in its natural state, but it's all heavily guarded. So to get up there and actually piss on the stone, they would have to be Spider-Man because there's cameras everywhere, and they also nowadays, as of a year ago, they spray down the stone after every person because you get all these old ladies with bright colored lipstick that come and kiss it. So that thing would look like the bottom of a table with chewing gum on it at the end of the day.
They should just give people the plastic lips like when I was a kid. We used to have those plastic lips. Hey, but let me ask you something. They have hallucinogenic plants there? Why?
I guess it's things that like the mushrooms and just they have nightshade, pot, all these things, and it tells you what they used to be used for. Like there's one where they would make tea out of it and would induce a miscarriage.
Wow.
So it has all these different.
Now where can I get this?
Yeah, I was trying to smuggle some of that back. So, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Have a good one.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
Very informative call. I know they have plants.
I didn't know that either.
They get acid,
yeah,
LSD plants,
mushrooms,
shrooms and shit.
How about we expected it to be like, hey, it was really wild and listen to music. It induces miscarriage. Like Jesus Christ, Randy, take it to a dark place, why don't you?
Get that up to 180th and Lenox. What? It's a joke, everybody.
Lennox doesn't go to 180th anyway.
I know. That's why it makes no sense. You can't get in trouble for something that logically couldn't. Dump that, will you? Just from Colin's look on his face. Too late?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? 16-second delay.
Nothing
Come on.
bad.
All right. Yeah. The other time he told me he dumped something too, my wife goes, that got through the second time. It's like a Cheech and Chong. When I get mad at him, I play.
I fucking hate the way you make me fucking ride you. Now get the fuck out of here.
I like that they listen to Disco Inferno in the background.
Yes, that was at the golfer's ball. Remember Richie April? No, the garbage man's ball.
Oh yes.
Richie April goes, the fucking garbage ball. Tony comes up to Richie and goes, hey, can I get some coke off you? Richie's like, you're not selling that in fucking. I have to go over to Nutley to get it. I have to go stop in Nutley to get it. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm selling it with your uncle. He goes, I don't give a fuck if you sell it with Walmart. It stops the fuck today.
I love that old Uncle Junior selling coke.
Yeah, I know.
An old man.
Absolutely. You saying that wouldn't happen?
No, I'd say it. Of course it would.
Connor in South Dakota. You're an Irish American. Are you an Irish American, Connor?
Yes, my grandparents came over from County Kerry, so I'll give a little perspective for, I run into a lot of Irish people who also votes, over the years that, they obviously, like Colin said, they don't like it when Americans refer to themselves as Irish. I usually say I come from an Irish family. I usually don't say I'm Irish. But what I explain to them is that you got to imagine or understand the United States, for the most part, between, the Italians, the Irish, Polish, whomever, they've only been in this country, for a little over 100 years, or maybe more than that now, 150 for the Irish and less for the Italians and all. So that culture still has not dissipated completely. Now, it's pretty much gone, and we're probably one of the last generations of guys still kind of holding on to that. But there still are parts of, like, either food for Italians, especially not the Irish, our food sucks ass, but, the drinking and the music and everything else. But that has not gone away. So, I try to explain to them that we still hold on to that because we can still remember people in our families that came from those places. And once I explained that to them, I think they sort of understood. They don't still really accept it that much, but they kind of get it a little bit.
Right.
The other thing they really don't like is my father, for example, absolutely hates British people.
Yeah, I know. They still hate British people.
Yeah. So whenever he starts talking about how much he hates the British and, he shows not support for the IRA, but like, they had common kind of an attitude. They say, well, you would have no idea what that was like to go through the troubles and all that stuff in Northern Ireland, because my dad's grandmother was from Northern Ireland.
Right.
So it's, so they say, you don't know what it's like. You can't understand what the fears that caused in this country. So you gotta you gotta avoid that and just try to explain to them, hey, listen, we're still trying to hold on to the last threads of our culture in this country. It's pretty much gone. There's the Irish neighborhoods in most major cities are pretty much, kind of turned to either hipster neighborhoods or taken over by.
I know. Didn't you watch New York Story?
Yeah.
I explain all this.
Well, that's where you got all this information.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Connor. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks.
I thought it was starting to sound familiar. I never heard this before.
I was like, hey, wait a minute. South Dakota, too. That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
That must be wild out there. The Badlands. By the way, you ever see the movie The Badlands with Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek?
I don't care for Sissy's work.
Oh, it's one of the best. Just the opening, the conversations they have. It's the most brilliant dialogue.
You're hit and miss with the movies. You gave me that.
What? What did I turn you on to? It wasn't
some of the most horrendous.
Oh, yeah? Like what? Like Just Friends? Funniest movie, underrated of all time.
Which one was?
Remember with
no.
Ryan Reynolds?
I don't know. Yeah, no. But you show me, what's the one? Clooney, Burn This Script or whatever the fuck it was called.
Burn After Reading?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't love it, but I mean, it was funny. I mean,
I did not see an ounce of funny in that.
You didn't think him funny when he's just this idiot with his dildo machine?
I don't even remember that.
I don't think I recommended that one, but it was kind of funny.
Yes, you did.
Right.
And there was another one, some British people they were selling food out of a truck or something.
That's
what you loved. And it was too culture. It was too highbrow for me.
Yeah, Lee. What's his name? Mike Lee. Oh, God, I love that movie.
Mike Lee, strong middle.
Yeah.
Out of fucking Pittsburgh. What was that called?
I can't remember.
And I'm not saying
Life is Sweet.
Life is Sweet, which, and I could see how you loved it because you're, like I said, you're more of a Shakespeare
maybe you saw
type.
Maybe you're in a bad mood. But do you remember the guy's name was Aubrey? He's this big guy just standing there in love with her. And she's like, It's pretty funny.
I told you, I didn't find any humor in it.
Oh, fine.
But the one movie you did suggest that I love was a documentary on the Broad Street Bullies. I thought that had... Anyway, let's get to Italy before we let you go. We got a few more minutes of Quinn here.
I loved Italy.
You went to Rome.
I need to go back to Italy.
What did you love about it? Was it you said just Rome, but you went out.
I went to Rome, Florence and Siena. But I'll tell you the truth. What I love about it is, first of all, the whole city, they never knock down all these buildings.
Right.
So every block you're on, you're with a building that's 2,000 years old.
Yes.
Or 1,500 years old. It's amazing.
It's like being at Helium. Go ahead.
And just that, you walk into let's say you walk into a church, not a random church, but one of the church, but there's no tourists there.
Yeah.
They're inside, but I'm just like, let's go into this church. Giant, like Caravaggio in the middle of this church. And it's like, just the amazing, like, the joy that they had, the Italian people, you know what I mean? That they had this joy to just say, we're going to put all,
what happened to that? What happened to that joy?
I'm sure, but but I'm just saying, just the beauty, like just statues and like all colors, it's amazing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw we went to this restaurant and they have what do they call them? Catacombs in the walls?
Yes.
Right in the walls where they used to put skulls and shit or whatever.
Yeah, throw a couple of skulls, a few potions maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, and now they got my appetizer sitting in there. I ordered I had quail appetizers and a sit where a guy's skull was in 12 AD.
And they dress, I mean, they all look beautiful. Like the young people look beautiful.
Yeah, they have a sense of fashion.
And they dress in there. You have their walk. They still have that cocky walk in New York. At least they did when I was a kid. But they just walk, they glide down the street.
They glide.
Yeah.
And they have a sense of fashion. A lot like Albany.
Yeah.
So I love Florence.
Yeah.
Didn't you fucking love Florence?
Oh my God, it's amazing. I mean,
yeah,
it's
within itself.
It makes you want to almost like I never would think like to move anywhere, but you makes you almost want to move there just because of the attitude that people have. You know what I mean? You just have this attitude like, hey, you know what I mean? It's right now. We're hanging out. You know.
Did you go to the Coliseum? Put the headphones on.
I went to the Coliseum. I didn't put the headphones on.
You didn't rent the headphones in. They talk to you in the whole thing.
What did they say? Che fregare. Basciato calap.
They said Beyonce will be doing the halftime show.
Oh, but I like those things below. You know,
yes,
yeah.
Where they
in the Coliseum?
Yes,
where like they have all the things. You're waiting to go on. It's like the green room for the Coliseum, and you're waiting
to fight a lion.
And there's like a lion in the next stall next year.
Yeah. Can you fucking imagine?
And they're waiting to go on too. They're probably just pacing.
It's how you felt at Nick's.
Yes, exactly. Pacing back and forth like a lion.
That's what I remember from that too. Those rooms downstairs where they
so cool.
And if you can't imagine, go to North Korea because he's still doing that with his people.
Jesus.
Fucking Shemp Howard from Ching Pa Wing.
Yeah, I'd like to do. We should do a European tour. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think Bobby Kelly should open.
You know,
and we'll have Rogel.
I mean, that's the only problem with doing like comedy, like I was at that festival, thank God, because there were a few people I knew. But going by yourself is probably pretty lonely. Comedy can be lonely.
Are you kidding me?
Got to go out by yourself. But we're too greedy. We're like, I don't want to, you want the money.
Well, the USO, at this point, I'll divide it up with anybody.
I'll whack it up with anybody.
After the way I get paid, come on.
I'll whack it up with anybody.
Because we had a great time with the USO. Remember Japan?
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
I mean,
that was
how fun was that? Me, you, Kelly, and who else? Robert Kelly, you, me,
and what's the face? My assistant, Ellen.
It wasn't just, but there was another comic.
No, it was just
us three.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've been lying the whole time. I said Godfrey was with us.
No, we called it the Three the Hard Way Tour. That's why I remember.
Japan was, oh man.
Nick DiPaolo, Japan. Just in case you think, Nick, I'm telling you right now, every night he would call the Marines politically correct pussies, and every night they would take it and come up to him afterwards and go, "You're right, sir. They make us be politically correct." So if you think he just yells at you, don't kid yourself. He yells at rooms full of Marines, and they took it and came up to him afterwards.
And they were smoking outside and going, yeah, we can't. That's the first time I had ever heard of the concept of rules of engagement, and they said we can't shoot at somebody unless we're shot at. I couldn't believe. I thought they were busting my chops.
Right.
Again, under Muggin Jerkoff of the last 8 years.
No, that was like, what year was that? That was under Bush.
Was it under Bush?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was 2004. That was 2004.
No.
Yes.
I must have went there another time then with Bob Kelly.
No, you went to you went with Audie and them to the Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Rules of Engagement, by the way, a great show. David Spade and Patrick Warburton.
Let's go. Let's go to Nick in California. Nick has a comment on burn after reading. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, what's going on?
What's happening?
Nick, you gotta watch. I just watched it yesterday for the first time.
Yeah.
The white supremacist, the head guy from Oz, the one who fucks the.
Yeah.
Yes,
he's in that.
The CIA superior, right? So everything is going on. There's dead bodies fucking piling up everywhere, and the superior comes in and he's talking. He's like, it's like we'll get the FBI to help interface on these bodies. It's like, no, God, no. Don't get those fucking idiots involved. They'll ruin everything. Just burn it.
Yeah.
That's their solution to everything. What did we learn? I got no fucking idea, but I know if I know, I'd be fucked. So, just
right.
get through it.
You're right. That last
Coen brothers, I'm making it sound shitty, but
I gotta watch it
but
again.
You're right. That last monologue by him made me laugh. I watched it twice.
Fucking great.
It's the greatest. He's so funny. He goes, fuck. What did we learn? Fuck if I know. Fuck. It's just that monologue. You're right. It was so great. I'll watch it again. Nick might have been. You might have been.
You're right. I might have
distracted. You have to really sink your teeth into it.
Andy, did you see that one?
Yeah, I've seen it. Coen Brothers, yeah.
Yeah?
J.K. Simmons.
Andy didn't like it that much.
Not my favorite Coens.
Well, it's not your favorite. The favorite is Miller's Crossing. Miller's Crossing is the masterpiece of all time.
It is good.
Not only is it good, but everybody in it is fucking brilliant. And then at the end, John Turturro comes on and steals the movie from everybody.
Now, you're going to tell me that was better than Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock.
I think Nicole Kidman was in that one too, wasn't she?
Yes, I believe so.
I would have gave her top billing over Sandra Bullock, but
Colin sends me a picture on his phone on the way back from Ireland or whatever. And I did this too. I tweeted.
He's on the plane.
He's on the plane. He tweets the movies. You know, you're on JetBlue, bro. The movie screen on the seat, and it was, what was the movie?
It was Analyze This.
He has a problem with all those movies.
And then I started watching it. It was
your boy Billy's in that, right?
Yes.
Anything with Billy Crystal.
I'll watch
Colin will call me. He does this, and I fall for it. He'll give it like a couple months in between.
Yeah.
Hey, put on HBO. They're doing a thing on Kinnison. I'll flip over. It's fucking. What's the one when Curly's
Forget
Gold?
Paris?
Curly's Gold.
Oh, Legend of Curly's Gold. City Slickers 2, Legend of Curly's Gold.
I fall for it every time. Oh my God, Frank in the Bronx. Final call with Quinn. Say hi to Colin and say bye to him. Ed.
Hey, Colin, what's up, pal? How are you?
How are you, Frank?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I was following you on Twitter. It seems like the homeland was good to you. I'm glad you were able to go back, but I can't imagine you in fucking Italy going, how you doing? Forget about it. I mean, is there any comedy in Italy right now?
Oh, forget about it. I mean, that's the whole thing now. I don't know. It's not a comedic place.
No, the migrants seem to be putting a damper on that scene.
Well, a couple of people actually mentioned that to me. He goes, Italy's not going to be Italy. He goes, they should burn down these Moscati. That's what some guy said to me, yeah. Frank's probably Italian anyway. He's from Bronx.
Yeah, Frank from Bronx. You're Italian, right, Frank?
Forget about it. Of course I am. But listen, how do you think Nick's doing there, Colin? You've been around this radio thing. I mean, you are a fucking... you know every movie, every fucking horrible movie. You know every fucking word of every movie.
That's right.
16 Candles. Give me a song.
That wasn't even a horrible one.
That was a good one.
I was thinking more of like Love Actually and Notting Hill. Those are my favorites.
I saw the last American Virgin the other day.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was a bad one. It was
It's a
bad.
zinger.
The other one was Richmond, what was it? Sean Penn's first movie.
Fast Months at Times at Richmond High. No, but you got to, if you really want to watch a good movie, watch Cheaper by the Dozen 2 with Steve Martin. He's a football coach. It's very good.
Hey, how about
if you like football, you got to watch it.
How about Let It Ride? Let It Ride about the horses, the ponies.
Oh, that could have been good, though.
No, I thought it was great. I thought you could have played Crocodile Dundee in that movie.
Frank, how about this movie? Me and Colin both read for this. We didn't get it. We were very disappointed.
I love you for helping me to construct of my life, not a tavern, but a temple.
I'll give you a hint. Tom Papa was in it.
Yes.
Papa was in it.
Oh, yeah.
I love you because you have done so much.
Candelabra.
How good was he in that, Michael Douglas?
Oh, my, both of them.
Out of
Jesus.
How many times did you have to do the sex scene together?
They said we weren't believable. It was actually, all right, Frank. All right, Frank. Hey, thank you.
We got a situation.
I got that situation. Take it easy.
What are the odds he's from East Tremont? About 90 guarantee.
Candelabra.
Michael Douglas is like one of the greatest actors of all time.
But that movie, Colin, I can't make my. I've watched it 6 times because I'm belly laughing. I'm not supposed to be, but at some points in the movie, I'm like, this is a good movie. But then at other points, it feels like a 2-hour SNL sketch with Matt Damon and Michael Douglas.
But that's how Liberace was, though. He was that. You were supposed to kind of laugh
point,
at him.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like he knew people were laughing at him too. You know what I mean? Like he knew it was like a kind of a what do you call it? You know, kitschy.
But that's not what they. Yeah,
they wanted. They knew people were laughing during that movie. Of course, they had to. Come on,
Jesus Christ!
Come on,
I just couldn't. I'd be fucking belly laughing.
It wasn't Angels in America.
Oh my God, that's the. Let me tell you about Angels. Pacino, right?
Yes.
There's a scene where he's on the phone.
Yes.
He's on the phone. Like he's talking like somebody in the room.
Yeah.
And he's on the phone. It is the greatest acting job I have ever.
Cats. It's about cats. What do I know? It's cats. Tickets to cats. Remember? That's it. That scene, right?
I'd watch that. That was so good.
He's amazing in it.
He's getting like 3 calls. I got this guy. I know.
He's unbelievable.
You'd have to rehearse that for 3 weeks to get it. That
he's unbelievable in that movie. I agree with you. He's a master. Anybody that says he's an overactor can kiss my grits. He's fucking amazing in that goddamn movie.
And the other thing I loved was Torch Song Trilogy.
Oh, well.
I just want to be loved. Is that so wrong? I keep forgetting to pull that clip. Anyways, we're going to let Quinn go. He has a gig to go to at the Friars Club.
Yes.
Right? And if you want to see him, he's all over Netflix. A New York Story.
Yeah.
Unconstitutional. They're both streaming now on Netflix. Follow him on Twitter. By the way, when I say follow somebody on Twitter, you got to follow Quinn because he mastered it before anybody did. And he's been playing people for how many years now you've been on Twitter?
I don't know, like 7 years.
Put a book out, will you, of you just torturing
tweets.
Oh my God, please do that.
But I can't put their responses because then they'll probably try to charge me for it.
Yeah.
They'll sue me. I'll be in court for the next 10 years.
I got a good lawyer, nice. Hit him up on Twitter at I am Colin Quinn. Visit colinquinn.com for his tour dates and other information. Quinny, you're the best. We can't thank you enough for coming in here.
Congratulations, show's going great, man.
We don't know. We have we get no feedback.
Oh, really?
My parents are like, I think I might have a shot. But other than that, we don't hear anything.
They give you a marble desk. That's got to be something.
All right, folks, we're going to take a break. Back after this.